What's the deal with counting calories when you are on keto? Maybe I should go back to counting calories. Hi, in case you're new to this channel and you don't know who I am Slick Nick, your personal keto bro. I'm not a doctor, not a dietitian, not a nutritionist, not a personal trainer, just some random guy who happens to be less than 2 months away from turning 40 and who has a goal of getting into those size medium t-shirts without the bottom half sticking out like a dress because I've still got body fat there on my stomach. So I'm looking to get to 17% body fat. What I decided to do over this past week, I took off a week of shooting these videos. There's been a blizzard here where I am, and I decided, let me assess my situation. How am I doing with keto? Because it's a couple months into full keto at this point. And I noticed I've plateaued. Whereas a year ago, before I started weight training and changed my diet, I was right under 180 pounds. And then, now I'm easily under 160. I got down to 153 and then bounced up to 155 and then bounced up to 158, back to 155. So I'm kind of in a plateau situation in the 150s here. I want to continue burning that fat. I thought, what if I could bring my calories down but still get plenty of fat and protein that I'm looking for in the keto diet? So here's what I found. When I mapped it all out, I'm at 1,591 calories, 167.5 grams of fat, 58 carbohydrates, 45 grams of protein. That's for a whole day, except for one thing, and that is whatever meat I'm eating for dinner. So whether it would be a turkey burger or whether it would be sausage or whatever it is, I'm not counting that. But even when you do count that, the calories are still gonna be under 2,000, and it's gonna bring up my fat and protein up a little bit, but not really the carbs. So I did notice 58 grams, but that's counting vegetables, so all carbs aren't quite the same, and I know that, and that's more of an estimate. So maybe I put a few less blueberries in my yogurt, but ultimately I'm probably, that 58 is probably not so accurate. It's probably less than that because I'm so strict on my carbs that when it comes to things like, oh, I'm putting a few blueberries in, well, serving is a cup, right, or whatever it is, I'm doing not even a quarter of a cup really. So I'm probably overshooting in that, and I'm better off that way. But those were the true numbers, what I had found. And I'll do a separate video on this because I think it would be interesting to do a detailed breakdown. But here's just the highlights of my day. 6 a.m. apple cider vinegar and coffee. There's 78 calories, 7 grams of fat, 3 carbs. Then 11 a.m. keto coffee. That's actually coming up here in a minute. 188 calories, 19 grams of fat, 6 carbs. Then I break my fast at around 2. That's where I have my keto salad, my eggs, and some mixed nuts. That right there is going to be 535 calories, 77 grams of fat, 3 carbs, 8 grams of protein. And then for dinner, here's everything except for whatever meat that I would have. Often I'll have a half of a sweet potato. So that right there is 160 calories. There's my carbs, 14. That's the most I have at a time. And then 12 grams of fat and 2 grams of protein. Of course, that's counting in a little bit of blueberries, but I mean, it's just a few. I've also got my keto yogurt that I have after dinner, and that's massive. That's my calorie bomb for the day. That's 630 calories, 52 grams of fat, 25 grams of protein, and it is 32 carbohydrates. I mentioned blueberries a minute ago. I didn't mean to say that with the sweet potato. They go with the yogurt, but either way, they're counted in to that portion. So when you add all that up and you count also whatever meat I'm eating with my meal too, it's going to be ideally right under 2,000, which is what I want to be. I'm looking really for 1,850. So here's what I learned from this. The calories matter on keto. I think to some degree, yes, but if you're not spiking your insulin like me, mine's not really spiking until the afternoon, and my carbs don't really even happen to the very end of the day. I'm pretty much in a state where I'm not able to store fat most of the day. So we've got that in mind. We also know that I weight train about an hour a day, and then I also walk 2 to 3 miles a day in addition to that. So there's all this, and plus I'm doing apple cider vinegar, I'm doing the ginger juice, I'm doing a lot of things. I'm drinking, 2 of these a day, which is at least a gallon. So it's not just about counting calories. If it were, then we could look at 2,000 worth of calories in soda and ice cream and candy versus avocado and nuts and meat. We could look at that, and it would be obvious that even if you lost weight by having less calories with sugar, if you did that, it's not going to make you healthier. So counting calories is not everything. I'm still going to respect the concept a little bit, but ultimately, I guess what I'm saying is, I thought when I counted my calories for the average day of calories, I thought I was going to be well over 2,000 now that I've added all this fat. Turns out I haven't. I haven't really gone over that. But it also keeps in mind that when I do break my fast, I will have my eggs. I won't also have beef hot dogs or something like that in addition to, or sausage during that. Really, that first meal is enough for me. And as far as having meat and protein, I'll just have it for my second meal 3 hours later. So as long as I keep all that in check, I have to be mindful. I have to make sure I'm not overeating, but that's its own video. Your comments and your insight from me belongs right here.